Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today we're going to be talking about Diablo 4. We're going to talk about the early access beta that you can have gotten if you either pre-purchased the game or, I think if you're in America, went to KFC and got like a double down. Weird promotion, but hey, as you can see, I have the red lights on in, celebration of Diablo 4. So I have completed the early access beta on Sorceress, but only the story so far, main storyline, and a little bit of side questing. I'm still going to explore, do all the dungeons, and get to max level of 25, but so far this is going to be a little review on how it's going up to the end of the main storyline in the early access beta. So all in all, I think it took me about 4 hours to beat the main quest line. You can probably do it in 3 to 3.5 if you just speed through it. You can do it incredibly fast, as I listened to all of the main quest line dialogue, but all like 5 or 6 side quests, I didn't really listen to those at all. So a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. So anyways, let's talk about it. Diablo 4 is pretty much what you expect out of Diablo, okay? It's not gonna change what Diablo is, so if you've played Diablo, you like general ARPG, Path of Exile type gameplay, you're probably going to like this game. Luckily, D4 is a little more gritty, depressing, deadly, so all for that. It seems to be more emo than the last one. I played Sorceress and got up to, I think, level 15 at the moment, and I've unlocked about 3 tiers or like 4 tiers of skills, and I am quite enjoying it. I like how the customization for the skill tree works. While it is pretty simple, it's still pretty fun, right? You can max out certain spells, quickly swap to other ones, very easily rearrange your skills early on as required to try out different things, to see like what you like, what you need, etc, etc. You can equip multiple skills of the same tier if you want to roll like that, or only equip the higher tiers or like one at a time. So the game does have kind of a weird system with how it does all of the spells, because you do have to go up the spell skill tree, unlocking like one spell each time. It's a little weird. You can probably skip entire tiers if you just want to buff the previous tier, but up to level 25, you're pretty much just going to go along, upgrade your skills, get stronger, like what you like, upgrade what you like, and it'll be fine. Now, performance issues in the game. It was having, at least on day one for me, huge RAM memory leak issues and just RAM usage issues overall. This game on like high texture graphic detail was eating like 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM on my PC, and it was eating all 12 gigs of my GPU's RAM. So I had to bump it down to medium texture detail, which pretty much halved the RAM usage, but there was a memory leak on the GPU, so I had to restart the game. I should have just restarted the textures, but either way, I restarted the game, and that was kind of a pain in the butt. So the game devours RAM, and I really do hope they end up fixing that by the end of the release, because it just eats way too much. I have a 3080 with 12 gigs of RAM on it, and it couldn't run it at high detail, high texture detail, probably because of the terrible memory leak, but it says at high detail, it eats at minimum 8 gigs of RAM, and if that's 8 gigs of my graphic card RAM, along with everything else, yeah, maybe you need a 16 gig card in order to run this game on high texture detail. So lower tier GPUs might struggle a little bit for sure, and you're probably gonna have to lower your settings a tad, 100%. So if you have a lower end machine, it's definitely going to chug. But I do hope they fix some of the performance issues. People were getting booted out of the game, and since I had a memory leak, I just kind of restarted once. It's a little annoying, but I booted the game down to low texture detail, because on medium I had to restart after 2 hours. So I was like, no, we'll just go to the lowest. It still looks good, but not as good. Sad times for sure, but it is what it is. The gameplay overall is fun. I like how the game is handling separate systems, even though I haven't unlocked everything yet. There are more systems that you should do in order to like public events that just pop up. Oh, you get some loot where you can buy some items at stores in the town. So it's a good game overall. I hope the gameplay in the background is showing it off. It's Diablo, right? I was a single player sorceress. I was using a lot of attacks. Eventually I was just using lightning, and then I was pretty much a flamethrower, had an ice shield on, and I would summon a fire hydra. There was a lot of different attacks I was pulling off at once. And then by the end of it, I also had my little chain lightning flying around. So you can definitely customize and change up your skills around like really early on, but you're gonna eventually like set in stone your early skills, what you like, and then go from there. So I like that you can at least change around customization. I was finding a lot of legendaries and rares and everything like that, so the drop rates aren't terrible. I was on the higher difficulty, Veteran 2, like you can do world level 1 or 2 by default. I did world level 2. It was very easy overall. Bosses have a lot of health, but other than that, enemies are really easy to kill. It's really hard to die, and I at 0 point felt anywhere near threatened or close to dying. Other than like one point where I almost got completely nuked down in like matter of seconds because I was standing around a bunch of explosives. But other than that, maybe the game does seem a little too easy. I don't want it as hard as it was on Diablo 3 release, because if you remember correctly, I think on Diablo 3 release, the little bugs would kill you easily. You just get nuked down so fast in like phase 2 and on, but I digress. That was back then and this is now. So drop rates are good, gameplay is fun, it doesn't have everything unlocked, and it only has a handful of quests that got me up to main storyline quests like 15, level 14. So yeah, that's the review so far. I'm having fun with it. It's a good, decent game, and if you like any of the other Diablo games but want it a little darker, it seems good for you. It has endgame systems, but we're gonna have to wait for actual endgame to see how fleshed out they are. I believe the game is going to have a battle pass, free-to-play pass, right, and like premium pass as always. It's a bit of annoying pain in the butt, but every live service game is now going to have a battle pass one way or another. It's a pain. I'm not a huge fan of battle passes or like systems to keep you playing every single week, but hey, it is what it is. Hey, there's a lot of loot to get in game and a lot of side quests to try out, a lot of dungeons that give very unique, I think, abilities or buffs for certain classes. So there's a lot to check out and a lot to try out. You only unlock a certain amount of the map, so you can only do a certain amount of the side quests. Once you get to level 20 in the, I think, open beta, you will get a sweet wolf pup backpack type cosmetic item. So that's why I'm going to make sure I get to at least level 20, and I'll probably do all the side stuff on my D4 character on stream casually. I am having a lot of fun with the sorceress. You can upgrade potions, make potions, upgrade your gear eventually. I do want to get to level 25 and have like a pretty stacked setup. I know that the game has world bosses, and I believe are spawning world bosses in the beta, but I have not gotten any or like seen any. Have no idea what's going on there, but maybe I'll try to find a world boss and make a video on that soon, but it's hard to say. All I know is, as of right now, having a lot of fun with the game. I'm almost definitely going to buy Diablo 4 on release and play it a lot, because I did the same with Diablo 3. I am a big Diablo player, if you didn't know. Yeah, big D4 Pro. Crazy, right? But no, I play a lot of Diablo because I do like ARPGs, but they are a game that require a lot of time, much like Warframe, much like Destiny, much like any live service game. So I usually play it for a season or two on release and then never play it again. I did that a little bit with Path of Exile on release, but less so, and I did it a lot with Diablo 3 on release, but I think I'm good to go now. So hey, let me know what you think of the game. Login queues were annoying but expected. It is a beta and there's still a lot of issues, but again, it is a beta, so as long as they fix a lot of these glaring issues, performance issues, memory leak, by release, it should be good to go. I like the darker, more depressing aspect of this Diablo 4 release. So very jazzed about how the rest is going to go, but I'm going to continue on streaming it and do all of the side quests on stream on my sorceress, do all the side dungeons on stream on my sorceress, and discover the entire area that we can, and we'll see how that goes. So I appreciate everyone following along, liking, subbing, or checking out any of my socials down in the description. Thanks for Blizzard for giving out the key. I'm pretty jazzed about that, so appreciate that, and I will see you all next time. Peace.